let's go ahead and we'll start with a prayer and then we'll jump out with some introductions. Just tell us tell us who you are, your names, how long you've been a Christian, and where you're coming from. Where you're logging in from or living or that. But let's start out with a prayer, and I'm going to ask Jeannie, would you lead us in a prayer?
Sure. Oh, God, thank you that you came to earth and walked this way, walked this path, God. And thank you that you show us how to walk with
Mhm.
you and that you walk with us. And God, thank you for this incredible opportunity that we have just coming up to walk with you, to walk with others, to learn, to grow, to process, to just let your give time for your spirit to really fill us, to teach us, to go with us. God, be with our conversation today, but God, please be with each person who's preparing for this trip, that we can just be ready, healthy, that you would be with everyone's travel, everyone's health as they walk, everyone's return home, God, that you would just bless it abundantly beyond what we even have in our imagination, God. We're just grateful that your spirit is at work and that
Hmm.
you love us and walk with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we pray this through you, our Father, Son, and Spirit. Amen.
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 Man, thank you. Gosh, it's great to see everybody. Hello, everybody. And let's start out with the people who weren't last time. If you're one of the new faces, or just meaning basically you weren't here last time, go ahead and just give us a quick shout out. What's your name? Where are you from? And just out of curiosity, how long you been in the church or how long you been a Christian? And we're not going to discuss what is exactly does that mean if you were whatever, but you know what I mean. So
Good.
I'm going to ask Kevin to start us.
I can start, but I was here last time.
Oh, you were. That's all right.
Oh, yeah. It's forgettable.
No,
So,
actually, I knew that, but I need
nah,
to
nah.
know what to do in your
So I'm Kevin Broyles, and I can't tell you how excited I am for this trip. And I've been a disciple for 47 years, married, former physician, slightly retired, and live in Atlanta, Georgia.
nice. Former physician. Do you ever get to stop being a physician? That's
No,
hard to believe.
that's why I said slightly retired, not really
Yeah,
retired.
I don't think. I think once a physician, always a physician.
Exactly.
Yeah, and give us a line or two why you're coming.
Um, you know, um, I've been a disciple for a long time, and I've been a real good doer, but I haven't been a beer, if that makes any sense. And
That makes
Robert,
a lot of sense.
I'll tell you, Robert, what did it. When I saw you or talked to you, I don't know, it was a year ago, you said, Kevin, my whole Christian life, I've been on the ground floor.
You don't have your
And
camera.
now I'm on the second floor. And you just had this gleam and this glow. And I'm like, he's discovered something that I don't know.
Mm.
And then you had this twinkle in your eye and you said, and I think there's a third floor. And I just remember thinking, I really need that. I want that. I'm a new elder. I want to be one that lasts. And so I'm looking forward to just drawing closer to God. And so,
Amen. Awesome. Awesome.
You want to go
Okay.
in the dining
Somebody
room?
follow through or
Oh,
follow Kevin.
I can
Yeah,
follow.
Carl Sullivan. Go for it.
we're
Yes. Uh,
actually.
I wasn't here last time. My wife was, but I'm Carl Sullivan. My wife Stephanie, and we lead the church in the Quad Cities here. So a lot of people don't know the Quad Cities. We are right on the Mississippi River of Illinois and Iowa. So there's four cities, two in Iowa, two in Illinois, and we're united in Christ through those cities. And it's great to be here. We've been disciples. I've been disciple for 28 years. Grew up in the church in Chicago, and part of the reason why I want to do this, we were able to go to Alaska a couple years ago on one of those spiritual retreats, which was amazing. And the church saw the benefit of that, and the things that we've been learning. My wife just got her degree in spiritual formation, her master's degree,
Whoa.
and so we've been teaching our small church about these things, and so part of that is kind of our job, but part of it is just personal formation, and we're just excited about it. We just celebrated your wedding anniversary this year. So this is what we wanted to do for our anniversary, is to go and do the spiritual retreat in Spain. And I'm so grateful to be able to do that and do it with all of you people. I'm excited to meet you more and have some great conversations. But we're just excited about what God is doing in our life and in the church here. And we're just passing that on to that next generation. And
That's
So great.
that's awesome. And I can't wait to find out more about your master's in spiritual formation. Okay, somebody else.
We'll
Tracy.
go. Okay, we're Bob and Tracy Yamamura. My husband's making me speak, so here I am. But we live in LA. We're part of the South Bay Church. We've been disciples for 27 years. We were baptized in Hawaii, and so the folks from Hawaii are the ones who reached out to us and said, "Hey, let's go for this walk." So we're super excited to go. And I guess the reason we're going is we're newly retired and we think it's good for our health and also just to meet a lot of people and to be on this journey right now. So is that it? Good job.
Great job. Great job. Awesome. Awesome. Who else? Come on, don't be shy. Don't be shy. I know most of you are veteran Christians, so you don't need to be shy.
They just might have been here last time.
Yeah, that's true. Let me open it up for anybody. Just tell us. Talk to us.
My name is Lynn Ryan, and I'm from the Bay Area. I've been a Christian for 47 years too.
Wow.
Started out in the Boulder campus ministry with Tom Brown and Tom and Kelly Brown. And when I saw the movie The Way a long time ago, I'm like, I want to do that. And so, and then the spiritual aspect, my focus is going to be to love others.
Mm,
Nice, nice. That's great.
nice.
I'll go ahead. So hi, good morning, everyone. Morning from Hawaii, and it's not different time zones here.
Thanks
But
for getting up
my
so
name
early.
is yeah, my name is Scott Miyashiro, disciple here in Hawaii. My wife unfortunately couldn't be here. She's actually training right now for a combination, so marathon plus the Camino. So she
Oh, wow.
has this early morning routine on Saturday, so it just didn't work out. But I will pass on all this information. But I've been a disciple for 39 years, baptized in the Berkeley Church of Christ. So great to see you, Lynn, and I know Tom Brown, and it's great to just have some of those build those memories together. I think the reason why we're going is initially is the Galangs just asked, hey, we have this Camino de Santiago. I had no idea what it was until I started looking into it more. So I think it's just initially it was just being asked, but now I think it's becoming more of at least for my wife and I, spiritual kind of um, reawakening, if you will. I think being a disciple for 39 years, there are some challenges in terms of just being around longer. So I think just for me personally, just really to maybe a revival almost. Uh, and I think also just getting into the whole like just the spiritual, uh, just getting out in creation. I think learning about how God is speaking to me through creation has been a huge factor as well.
Yeah, that's
That's it.
awesome.
Thanks. Thanks for letting me share.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Right.
Awesome. Who else? Who else? Talk to us.
Hi, I'm Dave Walls. I'm in Silverdale, Washington. I've been a Christian for about 33 years, baptized in the Great Land Christian Church up in Anchorage, Alaska.
Nice.
And, kind of what Scott was just saying, the reason I wanted to do the Camino, well, one, Katie brought it up to me and said, Dave, I really want to go. And I was like, all right, let's do it. But, wanting to just have that spiritual, I don't want to say reawakening, but, just build a spiritual community with the fellow pilgrims, um, and just a new adventure, in this part of my life. So I really look forward to it. So
Yeah.
It's great.
My name's Katie, and I um, actually was baptized in the San Francisco church in '87. Some of you might know my brother Howard Meehan, and um, yeah, I'm just super excited to meet a lot of different people from all over the world and just be inspired by the fact that the kingdom is global and it's
mhm.
eternal. And we all are on this journey, and this is sort of, the real life. We're going to be journeying together. So, and one of my best friend growing up is going to be on it as well, Maureen.
That's great.
Nice, nice, awesome, awesome.
I can share real quick, Robert.
Yeah, please do.
My name is Roger Dikina. I'm from Hawaii as well, and initially was nudged by Anthony Galang as well, and thought of it as an opportunity to, I think, really connect with mind and body and spirit, specifically body. I think health wise, as I get older, there's certain things I want to honor God with and be better in, um, and so that was one of the main reasons for me to do this. I heard about it through some family members, but never understood the depth of it or how popular it was. So I invited Leanne, my wife, to come along, uh, who wasn't too um, open to the idea of walking 100 kilometers at first, but then I didn't want to do it by myself. So she's like, okay. And then she invited in turn her sister, Sherilyn, and Ken, who are also going with us, but they weren't able to be on the call this morning. So if you guys do get a chance to meet Ken and Sherilyn, they're our in-laws, um, and they are not disciples. So if you guys could really just, encourage them and love them, we really see this as an opportunity for God to open up their hearts. And then my sister Laura from the Chicago church was also supposed to join us, but unfortunately she wasn't able to make it.
Mm,
And I've been a disciple here in the All Church since 1990, 35 years, baptized in the campus ministry. And
yeah,
my wife Leanne as well.
nice, nice. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing. Who else? Couple more.
Yeah, I'm Mike Steffen, and my wife Christy is the pretty one over there with not moving. She's then driving home actually. So we've been married 32 years. Christy's been a disciple 36. I've been a disciple 34, and yeah, we're super stoked to be going. Super excited about it. We watched the movie The Way a number of years ago, and we always talked about doing it. Christy's mom did the Camino last year, and so when Robert and Michelle they sort of began, I think, our spiritual formation journey when they offered to let us come to one of their spiritual labs, which we were super grateful for. And I feel like this is just a continuation of that. Just had sort of a significant life change about 5 years ago where I stopped practicing emergency medicine, and now I'm doing some part-time, semi-retired. Is that the word I'm supposed to use? And anyways, yeah, so we're super excited about going and looking forward to hanging out with everybody.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. And yeah, we have the blessing of at least four doctors that I know of on this journey, which hopefully we're not going to be working them. Um, so, but we'll all just be enjoying ourselves. But actually, the packet that we have does include medical. It does include insurance while we're out there. So, I don't know the limitations or the details of it, but we'll get all that information from them, from the Mundi Plus, right? Magali,
Hello, buenos días, buen camino.
buen
So this
camino.
is to you start practicing. So I'm so happy to be here, and I became a disciple when I was 16 years old in Mexico City, and I've been disciple for 34 years. I turned 51, and I think I want to suppose celebrate my birthday, my 50th birthday, doing a triathlon, but God says no. And long story short, Robert came to Phoenix, and when he shared this, I was like, yes, I want to go. And this, we talked with my friend Maria, which is coming. I don't know if she's here yet, But a long time ago, we talked about doing this. But I was like, I don't know. I'm not very adventurous people. And then when Robert says we are going 100 disciples, something like that, I'm like, I'm in, if it's disciples, I'm going there. I feel like just protect. I don't know anybody here, only Robert and Maria. And I think it would be great. And I'm glad to hear we have a lot of veterans here, and I'm very interested to my own journey with God. I think it's amazing. I think it would be great time to be with God and myself. And also, I'm very interested in the church we are living for our kids. I have three kids. I need to update my picture because they are all teens. And my oldest is disciple. He became a disciple 2 years ago, and my daughter just became a disciple 2 weeks ago. And I'm very interested in the teens. And I think the old disciples, we have a lot of to give to building that church for our new generation. I'm not talking about people work for church, just disciples. We have too many years the experience to give. And
Amen.
I'm super excited. That's all. Thank you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Amen. Amen. Anybody else?
Yeah, we could go.
Yeah.
I'm Ken Heskett, and we are in the Seattle area. Been a disciple 37 years, and the reason I'm going is Robin had gone to a conference in San Diego probably almost 2 years ago, and heard Robert talking about this and signed up, and so I made her allow me to come with her. So, but no, I also we watched the movie The Way many years ago, and that always seems something appealing to me that we would like. And I think I'm wanting to get out of it something along the lines of the spiritual formation growth in that area. So I don't really know what all, it's just something I've been praying about, but probably something like that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we're just super excited. And just thank you so much, Robert and Michelle, for putting this together. And I have the privilege of being able to work in administration. And it's just fun. Like, I've never seen Carl Sullivan before, but I know that church there does some things to help Mexico and Central America. And Magali, Ruben was just talking to me about you, Ruben Yonda. So it's just, I feel like it's just such a blessing for God to connect people from every place. So we really
Mhm.
look forward to it. Thank you.
Yeah,
That's great.
that's great. Thanks. Thanks. Anybody else?
I'll
Come
share
on.
a little.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Robert made me speak for us, so I'm speaking. No, I'm teasing. Um, yeah, so we actually saw The Way years ago, and we're really excited about doing that one day. And then in the last few years, studying spiritual formation has been so amazing. So we really were, I was thinking of it from a spiritual perspective. I didn't factor in the body as much as I should have. So we are really doing our best to train right now, and are so excited. And it's pretty amazing just to kind of see how God has used all these, I don't even know how to say it, parts of us, our body, mind, soul, spirit, just how he speaks to us and teaches us so many things in so many ways. And I'm really excited to to do this and to be with everybody and to get to know all of you. And yeah, it's encouraging. It's exciting to see.
Amen. Amen. Anyone else?
The other thing I'll say is we were just going to do it, the two of us.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it grew and it grew and it grew, and here we are.
Yeah, actually, we actually got up to at one point we were 115 people,
Wow.
and then sicknesses and injuries, and which kind of gives away the age group that we are. There was a number of sicknesses and injuries, quite a few, 4 or 5 people had major injuries, ankles, legs, that knocked them out, and they're all asking if we'll do it again next year. And I'm very, very tempted to do it, make it an annual thing, but I don't want to say that until I do it. And I know that we're really going to do it. Then I'll say it. But I would love for it to be an annual thing and something that disciples, because what's really cool is right now, I mean, I'm just saying this off the top of my head, but right now I know there's disciples from Germany, Portugal, England, South Africa, from Australia, from the Philippines, from no, actually, I don't know if we still have anybody from the Philippines. Is anybody from the Philippines in this group? I have to check into it. And Paraguay, I can't believe Paraguay's here. That's awesome. And some of the disciples from Spain are saying they're going to join us. But I don't know. We'll find out. And then of course a whole lot from the US, from Hawaii, which Hawaii is coming on strong. Love that. That's super encouraging. I'm sure the Glangs have something to do with that. And just like us talking about it and then all across the United States and I think Canada and yeah, Canada for sure. And there's a few others, but yeah, I see some hands up. So Teresa.
Hello, everyone. I'm Teresi, and I'm originally from the Bay Area. I was baptized there in '93, and I've been living out here in South America the last 2 years. But as I was telling Robert, mi español is no bueno. So just so you guys know, I can't be counted on to help you in any of those situations. I'll be using my translator also. But I'm very excited about this. I just turned 68 this week, and the mind feels like the body can do things that they can't. So I'm finding that out through training. But it's
Yes.
been good to find that out. It's good to know where I am. Just like doing the sin list, you got to know where you are to know where you need to be. So I need to be a lot better, healthier, physically, and with the lessons, the quiet time lessons. Robert, thank you guys for that. That's been super helpful, to even just spend a time and just be still.
Mm.
I like to run around instead of, God says be still. So to
Yeah.
be able to do that for a moment, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but that's been a challenge to just like sit there in my thoughts for a whole moment, So that's been good, and that's something that I definitely want to grow in my meditation, being able just to be still and to be one with God. So I'm excited about getting to know a lot of you guys. I know a handful of people from the Bay Area, and then there's people that I've known for years, but I don't know you personally because I've been to either your workshop or just heard about you with all the good news. So I'm very looking forward to this. So I'm praying about it every day, that it's going to
Yeah,
be even more than what we expected, So
Mm,
thanks again.
that's
that's
great.
great.
That's great. Thanks for sharing. Christie's, I'm assuming that's you.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for this amazing opportunity, Robert and Michelle, and for the quiet times as well. I'm excited about this trip. Like Mike said, my mom hiked it when she was 71. She did
Wow.
3 weeks in the Camino
Say that again. How old
from
was she?
71.
That's
So
71.
that's
she
how
hiked
old I am.
or
Same
she walked
age.
from Portugal up, and then she did another 7 days with another friend from, oh yeah,
That
there's,
inspires and convicts us all.
yeah,
That
yeah.
encourages me.
Story of my
So,
life. Story of my life.
so I hope to do as
Amazing.
well as she did. Um, and yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting everybody. Necesito practicar español también. Not fluent. My mom's Puerto Rican, my dad's Mexican. You'd think I would know, but the Castilian throws me off a bit, but I look forward to visiting, bringing a couple friends along. The Scots, I don't think they're on this yet, but Rod and Sue Scott are going to be joining us in Barcelona before we go to Madrid.
Mm,
And yeah, I just look forward to having conversations with so many new people, brothers and sisters and friends, new friends.
That's great.
great.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to share a few things about the trip and then we'll have some Q&A afterwards, okay? So that people can ask questions, we can listen. I think I'm super excited. Actually, I forgot to check how many days away we are, but it can't be much. I mean, most of us are probably heading out in about 2 to 3 weeks, right? I think it's only about 3 weeks away, something like that. We're getting pretty close. Um, and uh, and I will say this before I jump in is that, how many raise your hand if you've been to Spain, if you've traveled Spain before. So just a few of us, not many of us. So I can tell you this, it is a really great country to visit. It's very safe. It's very clean. I mean, there'll be people walking around late at night. It's the living schedule's a little bit different. Michelle and I got involved actually when we were working with Hope Worldwide. And because we were kind of traveling all over the world, we were asked if we could help out with the Church of Madrid because they were going through a really tough time. So we actually, stayed in Madrid for a month and got with all the disciples. And I had always wanted to go to Spain. That was always kind of on my heart, and always wanted to go to Spain because I traveled all over Latin America and the Caribbean. I knew the Latino culture very well, but I didn't know the root culture, which is Spain, and just so you know, Spaniards are not Latinos. Just you don't want to make that mistake. They'll get mad. Latinos are from the Americas, from North America, South America, but they're Hispanic. You could say that, and that's the origin. But to get to know the city, the culture, actually the funny thing is the church is probably 90% Latino, in Madrid. There are a lot of Latinos in Spain that have migrated there. There's a special policy in Spain that allows them to come because they need young people. They have an aging population and they need a lot of young people to come and work and it's culturally very easy for them to adjust to Spanish life because it's the same culture in many, many ways. And although the Spanish is different and a little funny, our daughter went and lived there for a year, and I'll never forget, we would connect every Monday on Zoom. Actually, it was what was that other one that we used to use before Zoom?
Skype.
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 Yeah, we would Skype every Monday. And I remember her telling me, she said, Papi, tengo una cita a las cinco. And I was like, what? Una cita a las cinco? Which, okay, it's probably not that funny if you don't speak Spanish, but if you speak Spanish, you know how funny that sounds. But instead of una cita a las cinco, or cita a las cinco, or vamos a ir a Zaragoza a las 5 de la tarde. We laughed because she actually had a lisp when she was little, and we were like, "Wow, you went to all that speech therapy. You could have just moved to Spain, and you wouldn't have to get rid of it." But it's a great country. And Michelle actually just got back, what, 3 days ago?
No, not 3 days. A week.
A week
Yeah, a week
ago?
ago.
Yeah, she's still adjusting to the time, to California time, just in time to go back to Spain again. So
Yeah.
and our daughter moved there. That's why she moved to Madrid. She's going to be going to school in Madrid for a few years. But it's a very friendly country. I kind of, joke, not, and I hope I don't get anybody mad at me, but it's kind of like the Disney version of Mexico. It's like everything's new and clean and nice and safe
Yeah.
but the culture is very much very traditional and we love it there. We're actually planning to move there in a few months. So this will be part of our scouting trip. But it's a great country to visit. I don't see any problems, if you have your passport and it's easy to get in and out of Spain. There's no hassles. And I've watched all these, I've seen some of these alarming YouTube videos that immigration's changed. Make sure you have what you need. And it's nothing new, nothing different. Um, so it's a great place to go. I know some of you are gonna, stay longer or come sooner and do it and things. I hope you're there at least a couple of days before the Camino, so you have your body has a little time to adjust. Because for me, at least for Michelle and I, it's the first day or two, you're kind of a walking zombie, because your clock is so off, depending on where you're coming from. California it's harder to adjust than even the East Coast, and Hawaii I think is going to be even harder to adjust because of the time difference. But we usually most flights you fly overnight, you arrive in the morning, and the thing you want to do is really to try not to go to sleep because for you it's bedtime. It's 9 in the morning, but it's like you want to go to
You
bed
mean once you get there?
once you get there. Yeah, once you get there. And if you can, sleep as much as you are able on the plane there. So you start adjusting and I don't know, there's all these doctors, so I'm a little scared to share this, but like we take sleeping pills when we get on the plane, sleep all as much as we can on the plane, and then stay awake and drink lots of coffee as much as possible so that you're dead tired, and then you can go to bed that evening 8 o'clock, which is about 4 hours earlier than everybody else, but that's okay. At least it's you start adjusting. And we even take a sleeping pill when we go to bed because what happens is you go to bed at 9, but then you wake up at 1 in the morning wide awake. So it's if you take a sleeping pill, even though you feel like I don't need one because I'm so tired, but you will wake up at 2 in the morning wide awake if you don't take one. So that helps, and so you sleep as much as you can, and try to, one thing about Spain, everybody walks everywhere. So, Michelle was just there and she said she walked like 7 miles in a day, just walking around, doing stuff in the city. It's kind of similar to like living in New York City in that nobody has cars, everybody's walking everywhere. So you get plenty of exercise. We realized every time we went to Spain, which we'd go for a week or two, we always lost about 5 pounds just from the walking around and the healthier eating. The food is much healthier. The food is fantastic. It's not what many Americans think. Don't ask for hot sauce. Don't ask for tacos. Don't ask for burritos. That's not Spanish food. That's Mexican food. And you don't want to confuse them. The Spanish food is it's very, I mean, they're Europeans. They're not Latins. They're not Latin Americans. But the food is delicious. We actually, Michelle and I are throwing our own farewell party tonight here in our house, and
Because we don't have enough to do.
yeah, because we don't have enough to do right now in our life. But I'm making two paellas, huge paellas, a seafood paella and a meat paella. And why did I bring that up? Oh yeah, because that's Spanish food. That's so but it's funny because everybody comes over here. Where's the hot sauce? Where's the tortillas? It's like wrong. You eat bread with their food. Not there's no tortilla. And if you order a tortilla, which they have them, it's basically a frittata, not a piece of bread. It's egg. It's like a quiche, basically.
Mhm.
So more similar to a quiche. But food's fantastic. You're gonna love it, and you can eat it, and it doesn't have all these preservatives and toxic chemicals floating around in it. So it'll be great. So when we'll get there, whenever you get there, I would say if some of you are going to like Barcelona or to Madrid or to Valencia or to any of those areas, in the really touristy areas, sometimes there are pickpocketers. Actually, Barcelona is known for that in the really touristy area. Or snatchers. And what snatchers are is when you're standing there talking on your phone, somebody runs by and snatches it. So you don't want to be it's only in those areas. I mean, most of the city is incredibly safe, but in the crowded touristy areas, like I always tell people, don't put your wallet in your back pocket. Don't put your valuables in a backpack because they're easy, especially in a crowd, to unzip and grab stuff out of. That's just, normal, safe international travel for those of you who haven't traveled a lot internationally. It's just stuff you do, right? Keep your valuables in your front pocket, strapped to you. But honestly, Spain is probably the country I worry the least about, with this kind of stuff. It's not like Rome. Rome, there's pickpocketers everywhere, and other cities are way more dangerous. And you see people walking around till 11:30, 12 o'clock at night in most of these places. I don't know what these villages will be like as much because we'll be in the countryside, but I know some of you are going earlier and being, playing, doing the tourist thing, which is fantastic, or some of you are staying longer and doing the tourist thing. Let me put up my slides, and I want to share just a few thoughts to kind of prepare us. Uh, so this the pilgrimage of the Camino that we're on. Of course, the a pilgrimage is in many ways a metaphor of the life of a Christian, right? That the Christian life we know it's a journey, right? It's a journey. The Bible really, one way to look at the Bible is it's a book of journeys. Everything from Adam and Eve's journey, Abraham's journey, Sarah, Jacob, Isaac, Joseph, Moses, Joshua, Gideon, David, Elijah, Mary, Jesus, Martha, Paul, all of them, their journey is recorded, some of them in great detail, some of them just parts of their journey. But the a pilgrimage is a very spiritual act, right? You guys know, probably a lot of you have read the history. It's that people have been doing this about 1,000 years. Started in the mid 11th century when pilgrimages became a big thing, and there had been pilgrimages for forever going to Jerusalem, but with the rise of Islam, it became very dangerous. It became very difficult, and people searched for other holy sites or places for pilgrimage. And that's kind of what gave rise to Santiago de Compostela, which is, as you probably read already, it's traditionally James, James the Major, James the brother, the apostle wanted to go to Spain, and it was tradition that he went to Spain, loved Spain, and told people that we returned to Jerusalem, returned to Israel, but said that he wanted to be buried in Spain. He wanted to be buried in Spain. So when he died, the tradition, of course, we don't know if this is historical fact, but tradition is they took his bones and they buried him in a field in a camp in a field, and that night all these stars shone, and it was an incredible thing, and they saw it as a sign of miracle, and that's Compostela is the field of the stars, and Santiago, of course, is James. Santiago is Saint James, so Santiago, Giago is or Iago is James, so the field of Saint James. So Santiago de Compostela, and that started the pilgrimage. And it started out with hundreds, it reached thousands, and for many years, even in modern times, it was around 10,000 people a year. But recently, it's climbed. I just checked last week. As of last week, over 480,000 people walked it this year. Just this year, 480,000. And of course, that's it's the full pilgrimage where most of them walk. We're walking the last section of the pilgrimage to be able to get a Compostela or the stamp. Um, but it is supposed to be analogous or a metaphor of our spiritual life, and we all know. And I think this is part of the beauty of maturing spiritually is you understand more and more the journey, and that this is a journey. And I do think that that's probably why it tends to draw an older crowd. I think that the explosion in the numbers of people is indicative of the spiritual hunger that's out there. Even while church attendances have dropped to all-time lows, spiritual events are exploding. And I think it's basically because of us being made in God's image, and we all have that hunger for God. And, as Augustine said, our hearts are restless until we rest in God. Or even before that, he said, we were made for you, and our hearts are restless until we rest in God. And I think that restlessness is why there are so many people walking it. Because probably, I haven't seen an exact statistic, but I know I've read that the vast majority of these people are not religious that are walking it. And you will meet many people from all over the world, and it's going to be wonderful. I hope that we understand this is the pilgrimage. It's you and God. This isn't fellowship after church, you know. I know, especially the first few days, we're just going to be eating up all the fellowship, and it's going to be great, and it's going to be wonderful, and meeting all these, you know, wonderful people from all over the world. But remember that we're there for us and God. So don't feel any obligation that I'm supposed to walk with a group, or I'm supposed to be with somebody, or I mean, you can spend the entire day just you and God, or you can, you know, break it up, but don't feel an obligation. This isn't, you're not being selfish or self-centered if you just want to get up early in the morning and go. That's what you're there for. And the big thing about, there's a whole philosophy about the Camino. Everyone is on their own Camino. There's no such thing as a group Camino. This is an individual journey with God. And yes, you will make friends, and yes, you will meet people, and yes, you will connect, and yes, it will be, even that will be, should be a spiritual experience, you know, where you connect with others. One of the biggest reasons, one of the most common reasons people go is because of loss, because of grieving. Many people that are on it, they've lost somebody they loved, they're grieving, or they're going through a major change in life, or even sicknesses. People go because they want to connect with God, because they have a major illness or something that hasn't yet stopped them from doing something like this. But people have their reasons, and that's a great question to ask people as you meet them. And there's a whole culture on the Camino of, when you see other pilgrims sitting at a table, they'll invite you to come sit with them, because that's part of it, is connecting with each other's journeys. So we all know that spiritual life is not as easy as we all thought when we became Christians, right? The one on the left is what people think it looks like, and one on the right is what it really looks like, right? And I think that's closer to reality. And most of us have been around plenty long enough to know the truth of the picture on the right, that it has its ups, its downs, and this is analogous of even our journey. There are hills on it, on this pilgrimage there, and most of us are probably training on flat ground, but there's going to be some really tough parts. We're going to be at times really tired and exhausted, you know. At times we're not going to know if we can make it, you know. And then there may be times that we need help, you know, that we hurt ourselves, or we're just not able to. And I mean, you know, I hesitate to say this, but in most places you can call an Uber if you have to. But most of the journey there's an Uber nearby, but hopefully we don't have to. But if you have to, there is no shame in that, any more than there's shame in life when you need help and you need somebody to carry you for a part of the way. And that's really important to know, because especially I think as those of us who are Americans, we have this like, I gotta do it. You know, I'll drag my limp body to the end if I have to, and that may be right for you or maybe not. You know, but there's no shame in it. You know, and I love this. Here's our theme psalm right here. Blessed are those whose strength is in you, whose hearts are set on pilgrimage. You know, and I think that I what I love about this group, and I think we're really going to have a great time because of it, is we're all on pilgrimage. We're all, and it's interesting because some of us are just becoming aware of the contemplative life, and some of us are far down that path and just loving it. You know, some of us may not even know, what does that mean, contemplative life? And you're just early, and that's okay. You'll have time to find out, and we'll be talking about that, and even doing the praxis that I sent out, that I know a lot of you are doing that, and you're getting a little taste. It's a tapa, right? Or a pincho of a little appetizer of the contemplative life, of to being still, connecting with God, becoming far more aware of God's presence. You know what Kevin referred to my comment. The thing that I love to share is that I feel like when I went to go get my MDiv at Pepperdine, I realized that I've lived my entire Christian life in the foyer of a mansion. It's a mansion, but I've always been in one room, and I discovered all these other rooms. And then later, when I went to Fuller, I discovered there's a whole nother floor of wonderful discovery about God and prayer and meditation and contemplation and these things that just stir my heart and fire up my soul and stoke the flame inside. And I mean, I can honestly say Michelle and I are more excited about our walk with God than ever. I am more excited about the kingdom of God than ever, even though much of our life right now has been helping churches in trouble. And I understand the struggle of church life, but I'm so inspired by the kingdom of God and really realizing, I think, as we get older spiritually, that this our life is a pilgrimage. The life is a pilgrimage. A pilgrimage is a journey in search of God, in search of connection with God. And they would go to holy sites for this, but that's what we're doing. The good news, and you'll be encouraged to hear this, between Sarria and Santiago de Compostela, there are over 50 villages and hamlets. Okay, so it's not like you're going to be walking out in the wilderness all day and reach, your village that night. There'll be plenty of places to stop. There'll be plenty of places to take a rest. And there, and it'll be important that there'll be bathrooms. So don't, take advantage of the bathrooms that are available because there are places where there are no bathrooms. And so be aware of that. Take advantage of them and plan yourself. But we'll walk at the pace that you wish to walk. And none of them are so is the distance so great that you won't get there, within a day's walk, even a slow walk. And this is kind of charting out this one you're looking at charts out all the um all the different villages and hamlets along the way. It doesn't really bend this way. It just it the Chat GPT bent it so it would fit on a piece of paper. But there's so many places that we'll have to stop even between. So, day one is the arrival to Sarria. Hopefully I'll be getting in the next few days the exact locations of where we're staying. And where we're staying is it's a mixed bag. It's I would say everything from an upscale hostel to a hotel, basically, um, because they're having to spread us out because we're such a big group. Um, but we'll make sure we have all your addresses and where you're going to be before that. And basically, most of us are staying with one other person, spouses, obviously, and roommates. And a lot of you requested roommates, and we have that set up. And some of you were open to, rooming with somebody new, and that'll be all set up. And a few of you are three to room that requested that. So we'll walk the first day from Saria. And what time? We will have a devotional that morning. We'll all get together, sing some songs, and pray, and launch ourselves off that first day. Technically it's day two, but it's day one of walking. And we'll walk from Saria to Porto Marin, which is about 14 miles. The second day we go from Porto, and there's no devotional that day. We'll go from Porto Marin to Palas de Rey, and that's the longest day. That's 15 miles. So in a sense, we got the two big days right at the beginning. So you'll be nice and sore for the rest of them, but they're shorter. So you'll appreciate the shorter distances as we go. And the package that we purchased is includes a breakfast. It's probably a Spanish breakfast, which is coffee, orange juice, and a croissant or something like that. But of course, there's plenty of places that if you want an American breakfast, you can get an American breakfast. I'm sure there'll be places to find that. Um, so the first day about 14 miles, second day is 15 and a half miles, then 9.5, from Palas de Rey to Melide, and then the next day what's that? 8 miles, and almost 9 miles, then 12 miles, then 12 miles, and then we arrive in Santiago de Compostela. And technically, we have a place to stay that night, and we I forget which day it is, Sunday. We're all going to meet at a place Sunday to take communion together. And we might have a devotion on Wednesday morning. It's still not set up, so we're trying to find a place to all meet. We're a pretty good sized group. They're not used to groups this big. Um, this is new. This is different for them. They'll have groups of like 5 or 10 people, but not 88 people. And I'm curious who the oldest person is that will be going. I know the youngest one is actually our grandson, Aragon. He's how old is he, honey? 17 months?
Yeah, 18 months.
18 months. So I'm not sure. Our son and daughter and our niece and our in-laws are all going. And oh, by the way, just so you guys know, not everybody in our group are members of our church, just so you know that. There are some family members going, and there's even a few just friends not of our church. So, obviously we all know, careful with the lingo sometimes. But anyways, so then we'll end in Santiago de Compostela. That's the last day. It's a 12-mile hike. Then the next day we have breakfast, and some people will head off. I think some people might be heading off to the cruise. I'm not sure which day they're doing that. But and then some people will go actually quite a few of us. I think it's at this point like 60 of us are going to spend the day in Finisterre, which is literally finis terre, which is the end of the world in Latin, which was believed to be the end of the world. And it was believed that Spain was the farthest land or kingdom out there. And after that, on the maps, that there be monsters there. It was just like that was the end of the world. And it's interesting that Columbus's, or actually that the Spanish flag has this lion thing on it, and the old escudo. How do you say escudo? The
Scroll? Is it a
no the emblem, the old emblem.
scroll?
It used to say in Latin "ne plus ultra," that meaning there's nothing beyond Spain. And after Columbus came back, they changed it. They put a lion eating the nay, so it just plus ultra, saying there's more beyond. So they changed it that there's more beyond, which is a great little illustration for heaven, how nobody believed in it until Jesus came back, right? Or people don't believe it's there, but it's there. There's more out there. Anyways, so we're going to the end of the world and we'll spend the day. The bus will pick us all up and we'll go out there, spend the day. I hear it's really beautiful. Bring us back in the afternoon and the evening. We'll come back. And if you bought the Finisterre packet, you have one more night of hotel. If you did not buy that Finisterre packet, then that morning, the night before is your last night. When you get back, when we get to Santiago de Compostela, we have that night and that's your last night. But if you bought the Finisterre, you have one more night. So we come back. And then the next morning, those of us who are taking the bus back to Madrid will pick us up at 7:30 in the morning. And it's supposed to take about 5 hours. And it's going to take us to what is Madrid's Grand Central Station. It's called the Atocha, Centro de Atocha, and it's where all the trains and taxis and Ubers and everything, because we're all going to different places. I thought that would be a good place to get dropped off. So we'll probably be there around 1 o'clock, maybe 1:30 or two, depending on if we stop to get something to eat. But I would say the latest we should be there is by 2 o'clock. And so for those that need to go to the airport, you can either just jump on the metro because the metro leads from there right to, or you could jump on a bus, or you could take an Uber, or you could take a taxi. But wherever you want to go, if you're staying, and that's kind of right in the center of the city. But that's basically the journey. You can see all these towns. We're gonna walk through all these little towns. You can see them on the map. And again, it's not actually shaped like this. It's more of a line, but just to fit it on there. So I'll close out with this. This I think may be our theme scripture. Even youths grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall, but those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. So I think this is going to have special significance for us as we walk and get tired along the way. But
Mhm.
so let me stop there, and we'll have some time for Q&A for any questions.
I
Yeah, go
mention
ahead, hon.
something? What I don't remember if the book The Way is Made by Walking was mentioned in this group.
No, no, but that's a great. Yep, there it is.
Yes,
Katie's got it
it's
holding up. It's a
such a
great book to
great
read.
book.
Yeah.
It's about the Camino and one man's journey I think he's a Mennonite, and he's got so many great spiritual insights, and it's actually really enjoyable.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's great. It's in fact, uh, uh, my spiritual director had recommended that. She takes a group every year, she and her husband on the Camino, and she also put together a something to do on the walk, and it's only a it's an ebook. You can't get a paperback. It's something to just kind of a journaling tool that's looks really good along the way. So they do the same thing that last week. So it's Dawn Dishman, Discovering the Way, and I think it's only like $2.99. It's very inexpensive. So that's something worth getting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Great suggestions. Great
Oh,
suggestions.
and what was the name of the first one you mentioned?
The-
Michelle, is that the same
Yeah,
thing?
The Way is Made by Walking.
Thank
Yes.
you.
It's by Paul Boers, Boers. Arthur Paul Boers.
Yeah, great book. Great book. I'll send out a reading list for anybody I know some of you are just kind of, getting introduced to spiritual formation or contemplation. And so I'll send you a list of some great books to read to kind of, introduce that more to you. Our website, thewayministry.global, we have tons of lessons. We just had a workshop last Saturday. Jeannie taught on it. And that workshop, we basically have people who are trained and practitioners of spiritual formation doing classes about your relationship with God, about living through these times, about and practicals about meditation, prayer, different. So it's a great resource if you're trying to learn more about spiritual formation. That's thewayministry.global, and all the lessons are on there. And if well, you can always go to the website too, but I mean, to the YouTube channel has everything on there. But the way ministry.global also has reading recommendations and has a lot of the websites in our fellowship, like Jeannie's website is on there, and several other disciples who like Joel Pede and Sean St. Jean, Sean and his son are coming on the Camino, but they have really great materials about spiritual development. And if you don't, like, if you never heard what is spiritual formation, it's basically how we grow spiritually and become like Jesus. That's basically it in a sentence. It's becoming like Jesus, walking life with God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Okay, other questions or comments if you discovered something.
Not a question, but just
Yeah,
a real quick comment before I jump
yeah.
off. Just wanted to thank you and Michelle for dragging 86 other people on this journey with you. You guys have been incredible as far as the coordination and doing the best, with keeping us all moving in the right direction. So thank you so much for um, God putting this on your heart, to share this journey with us. And I'm super encouraged by a lot of people on here, the note takers. I've noticed them, like Lynn and Jeannie, and people just really into this, taking down names and taking down um, the excitement of this journey. So I look forward to meeting everybody um, in a couple weeks. So thank you
Awesome.
guys.
Thanks, Roger. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, Kevin.
Yeah. So Robert, I lived in Bolivia for 8 years. So my first question is the water safe to drink?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, I think it is. I've
Yeah,
never had and no, there's no cautions like when you go there, nobody's
right.
like, don't drink the water or yeah.
Okay.
I would say it's probably the water and the food are healthier than ours in the
Okay,
state
that
in
sounds
the
great.
United States.
And I know I can look this up, but I'm just being lazy. Do we need adapters, transformers?
Yes, you need an adapter for Spain. Oh, I should
Okay.
have had one with me. It's the two prongs, you know.
Yeah.
And they're not all the same in Europe. So don't just assume that, oh, I went to Germany, it'll be the same. Check it, yeah, there you go. Michelle's got one right there. Um,
Okay. And do you need a transformer, Robert, to step down the electricity from
No, an
220,
adapter. No, I think the volt. Well, I can't remember now. I
you
don't want
know.
to say. I was going to say
You
I
don't
think.
want to burn out your
Yeah, but
whatever.
I've done everything with just adapters. I've never
Okay,
had a
okay,
transformer. So
okay.
Unless you have a hair dryer.
yes, true. Or a shaver. Shavers and hair dryers run on higher voltage and they'll fry there. So
Are
you
we
don't.
required to shave
No,
during
you are
this?
not.
Thank you so much. Well, we are
No.
required to take a
Used
shower
to be
every once in a
required to
while.
have a beard, but not anymore. So.
And then the last thing was
Oh, go ahead.
any special documentation needed other than a U.S. passport?
No. I
Okay.
mean, they might ask you, where your place of where you're
Yeah,
staying, and you can use anything. If you're staying in a hotel, if you're staying in an Airbnb before,
right.
if you're, but we should be getting. I know they're
Okay.
working fast and furious on all the rooms right now because
Okay.
I literally just sent them the final list like 4 days ago. I
Okay.
mean, they knew how many and they knew, they knew 95%, but there was last minute changes. A few people who dropped out and a few people who were added on, like the Aguirres from
I get it.
Johannesburg. Yeah, they added on, which is exciting.
I'm glad to see you added some humor to our trip.
Absolutely.
Mark's a funny guy.
Yes, yes, he'll be a blast. Magali and then Jeannie.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you for doing everything. I think would be awesome. And I have several questions. One is when you say we come back to Madrid, the ones we go to the end of the fin del mundo,
Uh-huh.
we come back to this place, Centro de Antorcha or something
Yeah,
like that.
uh-huh. Atocha.
Atocha. Do you have any recommendations to a hotel? Because Maria and I, we stay there and then we come back the next day, but we want to stay close to the airport.
I don't. No, I don't. I mean, I would just look it up.
I
Uh,
got a very good rate at the Holiday Inn Express at the airport, believe it or not.
okay, there you go.
It was a good rate. Booking.com can give you ideas about places.
And let me just say the metro there, the subway is fantastic. Far superior than any of ours in the States. It goes everywhere. It's very inexpensive. It's clean. It's safe. For those of you that are a little adventurous, you can go anywhere and everywhere on the metro, and it's wonderful. If you're a little nervous and you're afraid of getting lost, just take an Uber. Just take an Uber. Your Uber app will work fine.
That's awesome. Thank you.
From my research, that Atocha station is kind of like their Grand Central station. So like
Exactly.
it like spreads out to everything. So you could get to the airport from there, or if you want to stick around Madrid a little bit, then head over to the airport in the evening. That's a good.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things right in there. I'm actually staying at a hotel near that. So it's a
Okay,
good spot.
great, great. Yeah. And just so you know, the airport's kind of a ways out. It's a way away. It's north of the city. I don't remember, but I think it takes about 40 minutes to get there by Uber. And it's probably faster by metro because they have a subway. You took the metro, right, Michelle? It's
Yeah, it was definitely faster. It
yeah,
it avoids traffic. Mhm.
yeah.
So my second question is, I don't have a roommate, so we will know. Can I
Yeah,
I
know?
know
yeah,
I know Lynn Ottenwaller was
ev-
looking for someone
yeah, but that's after or before the Camino. I think she was looking for somebody after or before.
during.
She was
But
looking before.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm talking
before,
about
okay.
when I
Yeah,
will.
during the Camino, I'll send that out to you guys. I was waiting to hear back from Mundi Plus to make sure they got all the rooms that we set up. They didn't give me any indication they'd have to change anybody, so I think they're going to be able to fulfill the rooming list I sent, and I'll send it to you guys.
Okay.
Just know.
And we don't have the tags, the things I suggest with our names, nothing of that.
No, but I'm gonna get scarves, a light blue scarf that everybody can tie to their backpack, so you just recognize who's in our group. So you
Oh, I think would be
and,
great because
and you may
I
not,
think it's like
unless you
cool.
want to hide, you don't have to put the scarf on if you don't want people to know that you're with our group. But yeah,
And, so, and I go quickly with some suggestions. Can I? The
Okay,
I
let me answer some questions and we'll get back to some suggestions, okay?
Perfect.
Jeannie.
Yes. Will we be meeting? So when we are done with our day and back to our lodging, so we will just do dinner on our own wherever we are. We won't necessarily see the rest of the group because we'll be at different places. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, I mean, none of us will be alone. We'll be in groups, but
Okay. It
subgroups.
groups. So the different hotels or places will
Yeah.
have a group of us there.
Yes. And
Okay.
you can
Okay.
always meet somebody, I mean, our phones will work fine. Oh, I do recommend either that you buy an international plan, like what Michelle just, how much was yours, honey? It was
think it was $12 a day.
$12 a day to give her everything. Or you can do WhatsApp. WhatsApp is wonderful. It's if you're not on there, I know a lot of you are already on there because you're in the group chat, but you can communicate with everybody on WhatsApp for free. But you have to set your phone so it doesn't roam. It uses Wi-Fi only. Because if you put the roaming on, then your telephone company will charge you. And it's cheaper if you just pay up front the $12 a day. If you want to be able to use your phone freely, then I would just get the international plan for the time that you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more money. But if you want to save a buck, and the truth is with WhatsApp, it's great. WhatsApp is fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we could even have a WhatsApp group chat.
We do. We have one.
Oh,
It's
we do with
yeah.
everybody in there?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
quite a few people. I think there's about 40 or 50 people on that.
Oh, okay. I'll add
I'll
myself.
send it out again. I'll send out
Great.
invitation again to
Great.
everybody
And
to
the
join that.
other question is so Sunday morning is the closeout with a breakfast, you say?
Yeah, well, it has the normal
Oh,
morning
okay.
breakfast
So
at
if
the
we need
special
to, if
place.
our flight is early that morning, which mine is, we'll just get our ride to there.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
trying to find a place for us to meet on Sunday morning, early for communion together. I haven't found the only place they had was 500 euros, which is about
Okay.
$700, which I didn't want to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's
Um,
all right. My flight leaves early that morning, so yeah.
oh, okay, so you're gone anyways. Okay, Robin,
Is there by chance a spot or a couple spots on the bus now that some people have dropped off
there
going from
are
Madrid?
actually. I think there's 3 spots on the bus. So if you guys you want me to put you on the bus?
Sure. If you'd put
Okay.
Ken and I for
Yeah.
on the way out, that'd be
Okay,
great.
yeah, yeah. I think there's 3 spots. On the way back, there's like 20 spots. Only the bus is only half full because a whole lot of people decided not to take the bus back because they're going on a cruise or they're going somewhere else. So that's only about a half full on the way back to Madrid. But on the way out, several people just dropped out. So I think there's 3 spots open.
Okay.
So
Yeah, we'll
no,
take
now
two
one. I
on the
think
way
one or
out.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Michelle, can you write that down?
I did write it
Okay.
down, yeah.
Thanks. Teresa.
Okay. It's just Teresi, but I like the way you say it.
You're in
I was
Asunción, Paraguay.
See, I know they tried to change my name. It's like in
Teresa.
Espanol, Teresa. I'm like, no. In Espanol, it's still Teresi. So, just wondering how that works with the van, with our suitcase following us as we go. I mean, at the end of the day, how do we get our suitcase?
So what they do is my understanding, and just full disclosure, we've never done this either. So this is our
Hmm.
first time. But what I understand is they'll collect all our suitcases in the morning wherever we're staying, and they'll load them into vans, and they'll take them to wherever we're staying that night. So when we get there, our suitcase will be there.
Okay.
So you just go in and you'll grab your
Robert,
suitcase.
my question ties in with that because will it be safe to leave your passport with your suitcase with that luggage that gets moved by the van?
I think it should be very safe, but I don't know that I would leave my passport. I think
I
I would
would.
take my passport with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whenever I travel, I always have my passport on me.
Mhm.
Because well, no, I don't want to scare anybody, but yeah.
Okay.
I mean, for me, this will actually make you laugh. Like when I was a missionary in Mexico City, I try to keep my passport at all times because I wanted, if I got in a car accident or something, I wanted them to take me to the American hospital. I wanted them to know that I was an American. I didn't want to go to the public hospital because that's usually where people go to die. So, so it was just good having the passport so they knew I was American and I would get the
I
American
think even
treatment.
beyond like whether it's safe or not, just life happens, like
Yes,
luggage gets lost even in, your
yes,
own backyard, so to speak. And
yeah,
so that's such a critical document that would be hard to replace.
yeah. I wouldn't want to
Yeah.
leave it anywhere if I
And then
didn't.
you tuck it away though, but don't just stick it in your main pocket.
Yeah,
Again, you
or
don't want to
especially your
pickpocket
back
it.
pocket.
So yeah, tuck it away somewhere.
Yeah,
It's
and there
the
are,
money
if you saw the movie
wear it.
where a gypsy steals his backpack, and which I hate to say it, but they do have that reputation, and there are gypsies in the centers that they
I
kind of have
think they
that.
call them travelers.
Yeah,
Not a good word to use in Europe, gypsy.
yeah,
Just put it there.
yes,
Okay, that's fine. It's just, obviously living in Europe. I mean, I don't take my passport most of the time, and when I'm traveling, I just wanted to know what you were, just the safety of that because we are going from different locations,
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Well,
obviously Doug and I
you're
have done a lot of these trips,
right. I
moving
was gonna
people
say you're a
around.
veteran
So,
traveler. You've been all over the world. You know.
well,
Um,
yeah. Okay, that's helpful.
yeah.
And I think, Christy, you were showing us something.
Yeah, when we went to El Salvador, I just got this really skinny thing and I had my passport and my cash in it at all times. And it was just really, and then it goes underneath your shirt. You can't even tell you're wearing it.
Okay, that's good. Don't wear a
Like,
fanny pack though, but we
but
wear
in
one
the
of those.
front, underneath your shirt, like
Yeah.
it's on you.
Fanny pack is like the dead giveaway. I'm a tourist who doesn't who wants to be robbed.
Yeah, you just hide it though, so nobody sees it.
Yes, exactly. Hide it so nobody sees it. Erica, you had a question?
Yeah, we are going to be seeing family in Portugal before we come, so we're going to
Nice.
drive straight up to to Spain for the
Okay.
start. So, what time do we need to be there on that Sunday morning, or that we start?
The day we start,
Yeah.
I would be there you don't want to come the night before?
Oh, we might. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. We
You might
probably
want to
will. We
come the
just
night. I would guess we're probably gonna have the little Devo like at 7 a.m. or something.
okay. Okay. And then I saw another question about, do we need a bedroll or some sheets or anything?
No, there should be bedding because it's their lodging places, so there should
Okay,
be a
great.
pillow and a blanket. But of course, I know many people want to bring their own pillow, or maybe even bring their own blanket, and
Okay.
that's
Okay.
really fine. Yeah.
That's it.
And most people I just talked to, it's funny, I'm hearing it from all these different disciples who are walking it or already walked it. Several have just walked it. And people are recommending the walking sticks, that it's better. One brother said that they weren't going to use it, or he was using it and his daughter wasn't, because he did it was a father-daughter trip, and the daughter ended up buying a set of walking sticks on the way because it was so much better. Again, haven't done it yet, but we got ours walking sticks. We've got ours.
So they do have those to purchase along the way in the towns, I would assume, right? Like if you
Yeah,
decide
yeah,
not
yeah.
to bring
I would
them.
assume. It is well, again, haven't been on it yet, but I am always a little amazed at Spain's lack of commercialism. Like if it was the US, there'd be stores selling all kinds of stuff, and I'm kind of amazed that nobody's doing that, which is kind of nice. It's not so commercialized, but it is, we are used to a lot of convenience in the US, so that's not necessarily going to all be there.
Robert, I was going to say, your walking stick needs not to have the metal tip. It needs to have a, rubber
Yes.
tip for
Yeah.
the trail.
Oh,
And they
The other thing
usually
is
come with
is
a
that there's research done about hiking and how much weight you actually take off your ankles when you're going long distances.
oh,
So
wow.
walking sticks really do help you with your ability to kind of hike those distances.
Yeah, it's
That's
nothing to
great.
do with age. And I think a lot of people think it's an age thing. We use
Nah,
them all the time in the UK.
it's
Yeah,
called
there you
wisdom.
go.
It's
Yeah,
called
that brother, it
wisdom.
was his daughter who was 20 something that ended up buying the sticks because
Yeah, I would just want to know that we can get them there. I'd prefer to get them there than carry.
You can get lightweight ones, Jeannie. I've got lightweight ones, actually belong to my late mother that go down and so that they're very
Yeah, they
small.
telescope
like
down. You can
telescope.
get them in a suitcase very easily,
Oh, great.
or you
Okay.
can, or they're on a string and they go into three pieces.
Right.
I would bring them with you.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got mine online, Amazon.
Yeah.
Do you recommend one or two? Because you know, we thought about just bringing one. Would you recommend having two?
Two is going to be better for you in terms of balance as
Mm.
well as just helping you with your the weight off your ankles.
Okay.
Really helps on the hills and also probably helps the most going downhill.
Yeah,
That's where you feel the most on your knees.
the balance.
It makes a huge difference for downhill.
Wow. There you go. And any of these suggestions or discoveries you make, please put them on the group chat on WhatsApp because that's I think the chat is called Camino Pilgrims, right? I think so. Is that right? Does anybody remember?
And you have to you have to be invited. You can't just go and find the group on your own. I did that. I worked on that for a week and I never found anything. But then I found your link where you get
Oh,
invited. You had
really?
put it in an
Okay.
email about 2 months ago. And I was
Okay.
right in once as soon as I used
Oh,
the link.
could you
Which is
forward
nice.
that
It gives
to,
safety.
could you send that to us so we can get on that?
It's called the Pilgrims. Yeah, Camino Pilgrims.
Camino.
That's the WhatsApp group?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Camino Pilgrims.
We'll
But
put it in the
App.
chat for you, Jenny.
yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
Just joking.
Okay, great. I want to wrap up because we're going a little bit over time here, but any other burning questions or
So Robert, I'm sorry, it's Melody. Hey, so as far as weather wise, because I think it's October-ish, it's kind of maybe rainy or so. Just any thoughts about that? Like,
yeah, so I know the average temperature that week is 68 degrees Fahrenheit, which I don't know what that is Celsius. Vicky, do you know what 68 degrees?
68, you said?
Yeah,
That's 20.
20.
Mm-hmm.
So it's great walking weather. Michelle and I walked this morning and it was like
66.
66 and it was like, wow, I hope it's like this.
Mm-hmm.
The risky part of October is that it can get cold and it can get hot. So,
And
so
rainy, right?
yeah, it can be rainy. So it's a little bit unpredictable. There is an average, 68, not rainy. That's the average. But I would check, you know, right before you leave, double check. And
okay.
you know, yeah. So I would double check. I'll keep a close eye on it
Mhm.
and kind of I'll send something out right before we leave. We're leaving the Wednesday before. We're leaving October 15th.
Okay.
So I'll be checking everything and I'll send out a weather prediction
Mhm.
for
And
that.
On my weather app, I went under daily, and normally it
Mhm.
might give you 7 days. I can expand it out to 30 days. So I can see right now, I mean, granted, it's a 30-day prediction, but
Yeah.
they're starting to have predictions of what's going to be in Saria and, those areas right now, if your
Yeah.
weather app can
Yeah.
expand out, which
yeah.
is nice.
And
And just so
Robert,
you know, in case you never been there, northern Spain looks more kind of like Ireland than it does when most people think of Spain, they think of arid, brown hills, the southern Spain is what everybody thinks of. Northern Spain is very green and foresty. So it's like when you walk into Santiago de Compostela, there's usually people playing music and it's the bagpipe. It's not the
Oh, wow.
guitar, which is what most people think and expect in Spain
Interesting.
because it's Galicia as in Gaelic, right? It's the same people who populated Ireland are the people who populated northern Spain. So it's just little point of information. So don't expect I'm walking through a desert or an arid countryside. I'm walking through a green foresty area.
yeah.
Melody, did you have another question?
Yeah, can you repost? You had post what we need, like things to pack, like a
Yeah.
hat, all
Uh-huh.
that stuff. Can you repost that?
Sure. And YouTube has lots of wonderful videos. So
Okay.
all you gotta do is look up Camino. And then the tricky part was, well, not tricky, but just make sure most of the 80% of the videos or 90% of the videos about the Camino are the full Camino
Right.
from France to Santiago, and you don't need 90% of that
Right.
information. Um, but there are a few from I think somebody posted one in the group chat that are just Sarria to
Mhm.
Santiago.
All right. Thank you so much, you guys, for
Okay.
doing that.
Sure. Okay. Any other questions, Magali?
No questions, but I was posting what's up, the suggestions, but just quickly, some other thing important is one friend recommended me buy a fake wedding ring because I don't want to bring my ring, but I want to know I'm married, so I buy a fake one. I think it's really cool because it's like if they still it's nice. There's no pain. This is a case for a phone. It's a
Okay.
waterproof, and then they recommend it to me. So you have in your neck, so nobody steal it. So that's good. And also these under t-shirts has zippers. I never see one of this. Has zippers, so you can put things here. I would post in the WhatsApp
Okay.
thing. I
That's
think
great.
are really good ideas. And the wallet to protect your credit cards. You buy a wallet, so because they steal also that electronically. So I would post everything, but I think it's good ideas.
Okay. Great. Yeah. Post it on there. Roger or Leanne
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah. Just real quick, Robert.
yeah.
On the refunds for some family members who weren't able to make the trip, do you know if those were posted? I just wanted to follow up on the refund
Yeah.
for the stuff that was refundable.
Yeah, I've been posting them. I think there's a couple more that still need to go out. And part of it is honestly just all the money going back and forth between that I'm sending to these guys. I want to make sure everything's covered. I just sent the final payment. Um, it again, thinking that it was going to be 5 to 10 people and it being
Uh-huh.
90 people,
88.
it was like,
Yeah,
holy
sure.
cow. So it went
Okay.
from a couple of thousand to $85,000, that I was sending, it's like, holy cow, I had no intention of dealing with these kind of numbers. But this week, I promise I'll get it all settled. Now that I've sent the final payment, I can look at, well, okay, what's in there? But I have been sending every couple of days another refund. So they
Okay.
should be all
Okay, no
done.
worries. Yeah, no worries. Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks,
Thanks, Robert.
bro. Thank
Appreciate
you. Okay, awesome. Um, guys, we'll see you in just a few weeks. Please join the WhatsApp chat. It's Camino Pilgrims. I'll send out an invitation again so everybody can get on there. And buen camino.